We live in a world of instant everything, from our smartwatches to our cars. But all that speed creates a kind of hidden problem. What happens when instant just isn't fast enough? We're about to dive into edge computing, this incredible shift that's basically moving the internet's brain out of the faraway cloud and putting it right into the device in your hand. This quote really gets to the heart of why this all matters so much. In the digital world, that delay has a name. It's called latency. It's the time it takes for a request to travel all the way to a server and come all the way back. And in more and more situations, from self-driving cars to robotic surgery, that delay can be absolutely catastrophic. Edge computing is built from the ground up to solve this exact problem, to get rid of that dangerous distance. So, what's really driving this need for speed? Well, it all comes down to what you might call the data deluge dilemma. We are creating an almost unimaginable flood of information every single day. And the digital pipes that were built for the last decade, they are really starting to burst under all that pressure. Okay, so let's try to put a number on this so-called deluge. This is how much data the world creates every single day. 402 million terabytes. I mean, it's a number so big, it's almost impossible to even wrap your head around. So, you know what? Let's try to picture it in physical terms. Just try to imagine storing all that. You would need a data center complex that stretches across more than 10 soccer fields. And remember, that's just for Monday's data. Come Tuesday, you'd have to build another one right next to it. That's the unbelievable physical scale of the information we're all creating. And here's the consequence of that massive scale. The old model, sending every single bit of data on a long journey to some centralized cloud server, it's becoming a huge bottleneck. It introduces delays, it eats up incredible amounts of bandwidth, and it costs a fortune. It wasn't built for the real-time world that we all demand today. So if the problem is distance, what's the solution? Well, it's actually beautifully simple in concept: proximity. This is the entire idea behind edge computing, harnessing the incredible power of just being close. So, in plain English, what does that really mean? Well, edge computing is a model where instead of sending data on that long round trip, it brings the processing power to the data. We're talking right on your phone, inside a factory sensor, or in your car. The thinking happens locally, right there at the edge of the network. And when you put them side by side, the difference this makes is, wow, it's just staggering. The delay, that latency of the central cloud, it drops to almost zero at the edge. Decisions that used to take seconds can now happen in milliseconds. And by keeping sensitive information local instead of blasting it across the internet, data becomes fundamentally more secure and private. This isn't just a small improvement. It is a complete game changer in how we can interact with technology. And the crazy part? This isn't some far-off sci-fi future stuff. It is already woven into your daily life. That health alert you get from your smartwatch, the reason your video stream doesn't buffer, that GPS instantly rerouting you around a traffic jam, that is the power of edge computing at work, right now. Okay, but this is where it gets really cool. What happens when you combine the lightning-fast reflexes of the edge with the intelligence of AI? Well, you get a truly dynamic duo, where each technology basically unlocks the full potential of the other. A great way to think about it is that AI provides the brains, but the edge provides the reflexes. It's the accelerator that lets AI's intelligence be applied instantly, right here in the real world, making immediate, smart decisions right where they matter the most. And you better believe businesses are racing to adapt. It turns out that for AI to really work in the real world, it needs the edge. For a whopping 66% of companies, the rise of AI has directly accelerated their move to edge computing. And for almost 20% more, it's forced a complete overhaul of their entire strategy. The takeaway here is unmistakable. The future of AI is happening at the edge. All right, so that's the theory. It all sounds powerful, but what does it actually look like out in the real world? Let's take a look at a few industries that are being completely transformed by this technology as we speak. The impact is just incredibly broad. I mean, think about healthcare, where it's making real-time patient monitoring and even remote robotic surgery possible. An application where a single millisecond of lag is literally the difference between success and failure. Or look at our cities. It's the key to instantly managing traffic flow to prevent gridlock. And for entertainment, it's what finally makes lag-free gaming and truly immersive VR a reality for everyone. So let's zoom in on one of those examples. Let's talk about gaming. Meet Akira. He's a game developer working on a massive online world. We're talking thousands of players, stunning graphics, and one single nightmare that keeps him up at night: lag. This is where edge infrastructure comes in and saves the day for Akira. By using it, he can place servers physically closer to his players all around the world. This just crushes the latency, which means the game responds instantly to every single command. The result? A seamless, immersive experience that keeps players hooked, and it turns a technical nightmare into a massive competitive advantage. And hey, this isn't just for fun and games. Take a company like TapeArc. They have the monumental challenge of migrating huge archives of data. By using an edge infrastructure, they can set up processing points anywhere in the world. This lets them handle enormous data sets super quickly, while also complying with all the local data privacy laws, which is a huge hurdle for any global operation. Okay, so this technology is obviously a game changer. But it probably raises a huge question in your mind. Isn't this super hard to actually do? Let's tackle that head-on by looking at how companies can make the edge a reality, and let's start by busting a couple of common myths. The first one is all about complexity. The idea that building out a network like this is just way too technically challenging for most organizations. The reality, though, is that modern edge solutions are built specifically to tame this complexity. With things like plug-and-play capabilities and standardized deployments, they actually solve the core challenges of latency and bandwidth, often making the whole system simpler to manage than a big, sprawling cloud setup. Okay, the next big concern, and it's always a big one, is security. If my data isn't in one central, heavily fortified cloud, doesn't that make it more vulnerable? Well, actually, it's often the exact opposite. By processing sensitive data locally, the edge reduces the need to send it over long distances in the first place. This minimizes the risk of it being intercepted during transmission. A lot of the time, keeping data local is the most secure and private approach you can take. So, what does the path to actually adopting this look like? Well, it really starts with strategy, making the edge a core part of your plan, not just some afterthought. From there, it's all about building a smart, hybrid system that combines the public cloud with private infrastructure right where you need it. The final crucial pieces are interconnection, making sure everything can talk to each other securely and at super high speed, and deploying it all on a robust foundation that can handle the performance demands. So, in the end, the world that's being built at the edge is instant, it's intelligent, and it's intentional. It's a world where data doesn't just sit in some distant server. It drives immediate, meaningful action right in front of us. The shift isn't coming. It's already here. The only question left is, what impossible thing will you make possible with it?